we had COVID 2.5 years. We are having also a problem that as we open our economy, everybody thought openness, you get benefits of openness. Of course we got benefits of openness. But that same openness also became a gateway for goods which were produced by non-market economies, goods which were subsidized, to actually be, for those goods to be sent to India, and that is a competition which I would regard as an unfair competition. So a lot of our concerns today is how do we actually ensure that our MSME sector is actually protected from unfair competition. Now, what is the situation today in the world? I think even before November meaning the election abhi America mein hua tha, but even before November, I think there were a lot of serious problems in the world economy. And these problems are visible in different countries in different ways. Across the world, many countries, the manufacturing sector has been hit. MSME sector has been particularly hit. MSMEs have found it very difficult to deal with unfair competition in open economy. So the challenge which today many countries are facing, either you stop the unfair competition or you close the economy. Nobody wants to close the economy. So we have to find some solutions to deal with that unfair competition. And you can find that solution partly defensively, partly by supporting your own companies. So I would say, how to make it easier to do business, how to, improve credit support to companies, how to reduce bureaucracy, how to improve logistics, all this is part today of how to actually support industry in this country. Now, I also want to say one other thing, sometimes people say, wo manufacturing ka zamana chale gaya, that is for China, we can never compete, etc. If we do not have manufacturing in this country, we cannot have technology. Jis aadmi ko, jis desh ko manufacturing ki samajh nahi hai, how will they have the industrial climate to understand technology? If you don't understand technology, this era of AI, this era of space, this era of drones will miss out on it. So I would say today it is absolutely, I put it as one of the top priorities of the Modi government, that we have to push manufacturing in this country. We have to create more manufacturing zones. We have to improve logistics. We have to make ourselves more competitive. And I think we have made progress, but there is a lot that we have to do. One last comment. You said, what are the opportunities? Because mostly I've spoken about challenges. I think there are opportunities. There is going to be in supply chain in the world, there is going to be some shifts. We can say, after January, what will be the old equations may not be the same. There may be opportunities. There will also be some challenges for us. But overall, I would say, how can we make ourselves more efficient, more competitive? That is the way by which actually we will be more effective in the world.
Thank you. I think we tried to address a lot of that today morning, and I must tell you, I missed introducing, we had instituted a study on EODB, which is a much misused word. We call it cost of doing business, and we had Professor Charan Singh, who's sitting here, professor from IIM Bangalore, ex-RBI chair. So we did a study grounds up, and with some hard-hitting facts. We'll give you a book anyway, so we won't, but we took the Minister of Commerce through this. So that brings you upon technology. So we can obviously have our own technology, but the fact is America, China, and the Western world has a lot of technology, and we won't touch on capital right now. So with Trump coming in and the China relations, yes, we can invent our own technology, but the world is way, way ahead of us. We need the technology. We need to, maybe import is the wrong word, but we need to have good collaborations. So thinking of Trump 2.0, thinking of China, maybe both those you could throw some light on, because that's on top of everybody's mind, and it ultimately impacts our Mittelstand, as we call them, right? So
Sanjay ji, see, I'm not saying we should invent every technology. I'm saying, we are capable of doing some. But how did companies get to where it is? Japanese did not invent everything. They worked with the Europeans, did the collaboration and got to where they are. Chinese got it the same from the Japanese or the Koreans. The Southeast Asia, Korea got it from Japan or from Europe. So what happens when you go up the chain? You have to collaborate. You grow by working with other countries and other companies. So I would say today, as Foreign Minister, my message to you is world is an opportunity. The more we collaborate, the more we will raise our standards. There is an issue of resources, yes, like you said, but there is an issue of technology, there is an issue of best practices, there is the issue of competitiveness, and we will only know that when we work with the world. So, but I would also say one thing, and especially for MSMEs, today there is one big issue in much of the world. वहाँ लोग नहीं है, आबादी कम हो रही है. This is a big issue. So we had German Chancellor just recently. Along with him, I think there were almost 600-700 German companies who came. Their biggest interest was they have, in many cases, they have the capital, they have the technology, they have even the innovation, they have the ambition. They don't have the talent. So one of the things he told us is that he is prepared to look at, talent, getting more Indian talent. But I give you the reverse. Why does the talent have to go out? The business can, instead of talent going out, the business can come in. But business will come in if people feel there is a collaboration benefit by coming to India, which means we have to create a good business reputation, we have to create a good business climate, but we have to have an industry which is seen as a good partner. So, I'm seeing today the global capability centers is one area, one sector which is growing very fast. But you don't have to be a very big company necessarily to have a global capability center. I can see in the coming times in many areas, many niche areas, people will want, partners in India, relationships in India. In the old days, we would say, वो हमारे market के लिए आते हैं. But I think today वो हमारे talent के लिए भी आएंगे. And Indian businesses must use it. You have to say, okay, work with me. Look, there will be many things I can do for you, and I can work with you, and that's how we will absorb technology.
I agree with you fully, and I think that's that's fully right. We've been obviously pitching to the foreigners, make in India, for India, and for the world. So you can even manufacture here and export to the world. But then there are a whole other set of issues the folks face on ease of doing business, but that obviously your government is addressing it separately through logistics costs coming down over time with the PM Gati Shakti, power costs coming down over time. So there are a lot of other things there. But coming back on collaboration, Trump 2.0, how do you see the government to government? Because that is also important. Because I know American companies for a long time. They come for a profit pool and evidence of profit. So I think
expectation of profit.
Or whatever. Yeah, fine, expectation of profit. And they're not that patient. So how do you see the Trump 2.0 relationship? I know it's a bit early, but I'm sure you have some views on that.
See, in my business, studying Trump is like I won't even say a hobby, it is an obsession with people. What is he saying? Every word, every sentence, every speech is analyzed, and people are making predictions. And like any business, how do you make predictions? What is the data which you already have? So we had Trump 1.0. What he did in 1.0 is some basis. But many things have changed also in 4 years. So it won't exactly be like 1.0. Now he has said some things earlier. We have to wait and see. We have to be a little bit patient. But I think the world has a general sense that these are possible things which can happen in Trump 2.0. So what are those possible things? Those possible things are, in a sense, one, a stronger commitment in America to manufacturing.
Correct.
Number two, a belief in America that the world, other partners have not been fair with America. So you have to change the terms of engagement or transactions. And number 3, that, an America which will, continue, they are still the biggest power and they have a global presence. Nobody else is close. I think the China, the gap between America and China is actually very, very big in terms of global presence. But an America which says, okay, globe is very good, but, finally, what is my gain out of this relationship? In a sense, a more a business-like America, which is looking at much more immediate, immediate outcomes and results. So how do you deal with such an America? One, by messaging that, look, our interests are aligned. Anything we do, आपका भी भला होगा, मेरा भी होगा. So there is a certain, there is a deal here. There is a mutuality here. There's a benefit here to both parties. To also look at where are the interests of America, where is it that America will also need us. Now, in many areas where America will want to keep technology leads, I mean, if you look at the new emerging areas, what we call emerging and critical technologies, for example, take semiconductors. America today, there was a time when America dominated the semiconductor industry. Okay, then the industry migrated to a significant, at least manufacturing migrated outside. Today, they try to bring back the manufacturing, but they cannot do it all, and their efficiency and their human resources does not allow that. So you have to have some understanding, saying, okay, some part of the business is here, some part of the business is there, but look, I'm a market economy, I'm a trusted partner. So we'll have to work out also a political equation with America. And that, I think, is one area where we score, because, we've always had a positive political relationship with Trump, and, I would say this, Trump has always had also a positive political view of India. It will not automatically translate into every transaction. Like everybody else, we may also have some issues. We will deal with those issues. But I would say, when I look around the world today, there are countries who actually have, they are looking at the Trump 2.0 as a political challenge. We are not. And I think that separates us from a very large number of countries. So we are in a much more advantageous position to translate 2.0 into a deeper relationship.
I think that answers the question. I think you're right. The political angle is actually important, and if that can be conveyed across, then hopefully the FDI, corporates, collaborations, joint ventures can get an uptake.
That's why I'm sitting here saying it to you. They will also hear it.
Good. So, but I must tell you,